Hello everyone, this is Tiffany Velati, and today I will be making a video about narcissistic abuse called Don't Wrestle the Pig. When I say don't wrestle the pig, it is a psychological term that they use to describe when a codependent is dealing with a narcissist and the codependent just wants to prove their point. The codependent wants to tell the narcissist, hey, like, you're way off, like, what are you doing, and confront the narcissist. So that's what it means when they say don't wrestle the pig. It means don't wrestle the narcissist. Don't try to get the narcissist to see your point of view. Don't try to get the narcissist to see that they are a narcissist. And for sure, the narcissist, it is well documented that the narcissist will always call the codependent or anyone else who tries to confront them or whoever disagrees with them a narcissist. So the narcissist will always call other people a narcissist. So I would like to give another example of a situation that I was in, and I also wanted to make this video about do not ignore the red flags. So a lot of times it's very easy, especially if you grew up with narcissistic parents and you were abused, to then continue seeking after a narcissist, a narcissist on your job, a narcissist for a boss, another narcissistic boyfriend or husband or wife. It's very common that, if you were abused as a child growing up, that you will then continue the cycle. The brain now wants to continue the cycle until they find a narcissist that will love them and then fulfill the cycle. And then once they realize that, that this person is abusive and a narcissist, see, it doesn't always happen at first. A lot of people think that women love bad guys, women love the bad boy, women love abusive men, or, maybe vice versa. If you're a man and you were abused, or, non-binary, or whatever you consider yourself, if you were abused, it is very commonly documented and well known within the psychiatry field, that you just will keep the brain. You may not even realize it. Actually, it is very common, almost most of the time, that a codependent will not realize why they keep ending up trying to trauma bonding with people. Not trying to trauma bond. They do not realize, why do I keep on ending up with these people who at first they seem amazing? And like I said, people think that women, especially women, I'm not excluding men, or whatever you consider yourself, but that it's always like this well-known saying that somehow the woman will seek after a bad boy, or will seek after somebody who's going to treat them like crap, or that we're drawn to, abusive men, or abusive, it could be vice versa. When in actuality, it's not that. Think of it. It's kind of like when somebody goes fishing, they don't just they don't just like whip out their fishing line with no worm, with just a hook. Because if they just went fishing and threw the line out without a worm and just a hook, no fish would bite. So at first, a narcissist will very, very, very much so. This is why they love bomb you at first, because otherwise you would run for the hills. So what they do is they love bomb you, buying you presents, showering you with compliments, telling you that you are their soulmate, telling you that you are everything to them, and you're like high up on cloud 9 when you hear this, and you think, oh my gosh, then maybe I did find my soulmate. So, but what they're really doing is they are throwing out that fishing hook with a worm on it, so that you will take the bait. They don't just throw it out, and they don't with just the hook. They don't just throw it out with just the hook. Because obviously, if it's like the devil doesn't just come at you with horns and like a crazy maniac, because you would run. You would never get involved. Instead, the devil will come at you and make himself look like a lovely person. And then slowly over time, over gaslighting, slowly over time, they will gaslight their victim. So once you realize that the narcissist is a narcissist, because let's say when you first met them, you obviously didn't think they were a narcissist, or else why would you get with them? Because you probably, if you're codependent, you've probably been through this cycle of boyfriends or girlfriends that were narcissists, and you're like, why does this keep happening? It must be me. Why do I keep on ending up with in these relationships that turn crazy? But at the beginning, it seemed like Prince Charming, or if you're a man, they may have seemed like the perfect woman. So then when you try to break free and you finally see the mask slip, they call it a mask. The narcissist will hold a mask up, and you think that they are this wonderful person. And you think you hit the jackpot, and then you start to, but honestly, there are usually red flags, yellow, orange, and red flags all along the way. But sometimes a narcissist can be very, very smart. Some just like blatantly come out and beat you. Some slowly over time it's like a slow gaslighting, where they slowly rob you of your own thoughts, and they start to shame you. They start to blame you for things. They start to call you a narcissist. Let's say you try to escape. Literally, let's say you try to escape and you realize, look, this isn't for me, and you start to realize it's abusive, and you try to leave. This is when the narcissist will lose it and freak out, and the mask will drop, and suddenly you see, oh my gosh, who is this person? And then once they realize that you realize what they really are doing, and you realize they're a narcissist, they they will go through multiple stages. First, they will probably attack you verbally. They will call you the narcissist. It is well known in psychiatry that a narcissist will always call the codependent a narcissist once the codependent stands up for themselves and tries to leave. And then the codependent goes, am I a narcissist? Maybe it is me. And that is gaslighting, because now the codependent is like, they don't trust themselves. And now they're like, maybe it didn't happen like that. Maybe, like, am I missing something? And that's why usually it takes multiple rounds of this, trying to escape, being sucked back in, trying to escape, being sucked back in. Then once the codependent finally gets the audacity, how dare you escape from being abused? How dare you escape from being gaslit in the narcissist's eyes? So at this point, usually, like, it's very natural for the codependent to try to confront the narcissist and try to get them to see how they're acting. And that is what has been labeled wrestling the pig. And the advice that is given is to not try to wrestle the pig. Do not try, because the pig loves to wrestle. Pigs, that's why they say don't wrestle the pig, because you're wrestling, you're going to try to fight with somebody that loves to fight, that can't wait to chop you down to size. Because now that you have seen their mask slip, they can't have that. So they've got to now attack you and tell you you're the narcissist. Now you're abandoning them. You're doing it to them. And in reality, you're trying to escape, because you're starting to finally take your gut feeling and your feelings. You're now starting to realize that your feelings are valid and that you're not imagining things. So I want to give an example. There was somebody, because this was so surprising to me. There was somebody who, he took all of my videos, and I had a feeling like that I had a feeling. You'll have a feeling sometimes, that gut feeling. And I kept ignoring it. And I kept on like falling for the hoovering, because I so badly wanted it to work. But I also wrestled the pig, and I'm not calling him a pig, but the terminology is what it is. You know, you're wrestling for the truth. You're trying to get this person to admit what they've done and what they're doing. And he literally, so this entire time I've been like, I can change him. And maybe it's just communication. Maybe I thought he was such a good guy this entire time. And like, this entire time, I've just been trying to get him to admit what he was doing. And that is called wrestling the pig. That is trying to get a narcissist. I didn't think he was a narcissist. He came off very mild-mannered. It was this small, like, controlling factor across the board. And I just kept thinking, like, oh, he's helping me. Oh, he's like directing me. But now, like, looking back, it's been every single area. He force-fed me. He tried to make me eat more than my stomach was about to explode. He made me feel like a sex slave. He controlled me. He blamed me for his not, he blamed me and told me that I had to like learn how to make him. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to. Is this role play? I don't know. Like, and then he would talk to me like a child. And I'm like, this feels cringy to me. And finally I told him, and he would like sing songs, and I thought, oh, that's sweet, but it's making me feel weird. And like, I don't want to. And he'd go, now sing along now. And I'm like, huh? I don't want to sing along. Oh my God, I just want you to stop. And I just didn't have it in me because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And I think that's what a lot of codependents do. They don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. They always put other people's feelings before themselves, before taking care of their inner child. We can get into a relationship with a narcissist and, just like our parents, stay with this abusive person, and the inner child is like, mommy, daddy, mommy. If you're a woman or a man or whatever, mommy, daddy, like, or please, like, I'm scared, I don't like how he's making me feel. And I ignored my inner child. First, I was like, no, just be quiet. Knocking stuff down. I was like, no. I ignored my inner child over and over and over and over again. And like, then he would come in, but he would intertwine his controllingness, and he would make it look like his controllingness was like for my benefit, and he was helping me. And in reality, now I realize, oh my God. And when I last confronted him and said, how dare you demand money from somebody who had to live in their car because of some horrible situation with their friend for years. I'm on disability, and now I'm housed, but I'm on Skid Row, and you're in the suburbs living with your parents. How dare you? And it was never my idea. It was you demanding to book a place early, so because you didn't want it to be $15 extra. $15. Give me a break. Really? Like, and then I get blamed. And so I guess I tried to wrestle the pig. I tried and tried. First I tried to like communicate, because I've never learned to communicate and be assertive in my relationships out of fear. And this time I tried, and I gave it my all. And physically, emotionally, and physically I started to have pain. Emotionally, I started to like trip out, like, I'm scared. I don't want to go to a hotel with him. I don't want to. Can we just text? Just be my friend. Like, that's like how bad he made me feel, but I would not listen to my emotions. And so once I confronted him and said, look, how dare you ask for my money? Like I can't do this. I'll never be able to. So then he calls me a narcissist. And he says I'm blame shifting. And I didn't read any far. I was like, who is this in this email? And I'm like, oh my God, it's him. I'm telling you, prior to this, I literally said, you need to stop contacting me, or I will call the police, and I will get a restraining order. And did that deter him? Nope. He just kept coming up with numbers, more and more numbers. The more I blocked him, the more and more he found and came up with. And so then when I didn't respond to that email, But that email made me see, oh my God, he is not the person who's Mr. Nice Guy. He's not. Like he pretended to be. And then he switched the entire story around and he texted me from a whole nother number. Again, he texted me and he said that I offered to pay. And then he says that I offered to pay. And then he says, I was going to surprise you and give you the money back. So wait, you're going to put me through stress and hell for the next year and a half, 2 years until I can pay you back. And then once you get my money, then you're going to give my money back to me as a surprise? And he's like, my bad. I guess I just I guess I just came up with a bad, it was a bad plan. And I'm like, no, you got caught. You called me a narcissist. How am I a narcissist? I'm trying to escape you, who you're trying to gaslight me and control me. You've gaslit me for an entire year. You gaslit me. And I tried to see the good in him. I tried to wrestle the pig. And when he sent me that email, block. I'm not wrestling the pig I'm not doing this. I'm not going to argue with a narcissist who's calling me a narcissist because I decided to leave. So now I'm a narcissist because I decided to leave? No. Who's the one trying to hoover me back? Who's the one trying to gaslight me and tell me my religion's wrong? Who's the one controlling me, trying to control me and make me be their sexual slave and telling me it's my fault because you can't get your up? Who's the one twisting the truth? And then I read the full text. He said, I paid for years. I paid for your groceries. I was like, what? So now is this your new tactic? First off, the only things you ever got from the grocery store were your stupid chips, and strawberries and blackberries. And you're claiming that you have paid for my groceries for years? That's what he said. And I was like, I was almost laughing, like at the audacity. I paid for your food. I paid, and now he's throwing all of his, apparently it was love bombing. And now he's throwing that all in my face and telling me I'm the narcissist. When I was like, look, please, we don't have to do this. Let's not do this. I already don't like people. I don't like handouts. I don't like people paying for my way. I tried to tell you over and over. I told you, I never ate the chips. You bought the chips. And I kept telling you, stop buying the chips. But he's like, I paid for your groceries for years. Blah, blah, blah. Like, crazy stuff. And then he went from calling me a narcissist to all these horrible things, which clearly it's the opposite, to you're my best friend. And he kept going back and forth. The mask kept coming off and then going back on, coming off, coming back on. He kept changing tactics because he realized I was like, no contact. Goodbye, no contact. Please, no contact, because I'm going to have to call the cops. And I don't want to do that to you because I already feel bad. I already feel bad for you. I feel bad for trauma bonding with you, and then choosing myself and choosing my inner child and to protect myself. I already feel bad for that. And that right there is their goal. And they want you to wrestle with them. don't wrestle the pig is my advice. If you search YouTube, that's everyone's advice. Don't wrestle the pig, because you won't win. And they'll keep going and going and going until they get into your head and they hoover you back in. Oh my God. So, in the past 2 days, he's literally contacted me from like 5 different numbers and an email. Different new numbers. I blocked like the 3 numbers he came up with prior to that, and then he came up with like 5, 6 more numbers. And kept changing his story over and over. Calling me the narcissist, and I'm like, here I am, I'm like, wow, so you're watching my videos, and that's what he was doing this entire time. He would tell me he would act like he was excited about my videos, and he's literally like using them and then against me. When it's like, how am I like, come on. So it's also a well-known fact that narcissists will call the narcissist. They will call the codependent the narcissist, because they realize the codependent sees them for who they really are behind their mask. And once they see that you see that, crap is going to hit the fan, and then they're going to like try to gaslight you back, hoover you back in, gaslight you that your perception is completely wrong, and what they see what happened, what they think happened, which is complete BS, is you being the narcissist, and it didn't happen that way. He denied every single thing that he has ever done wrong to me. He has literally denied it, and like, I can't believe that I fell for it again. But it just shows you there are, just like ice creams, there are different flavors of gaslighting and narcissistic abuse. And I never in my wildest dreams would have thought he was a narcissist. Even though I saw the red flags way back when he was sending me text messages about how his religion was the truth and mine was crap. And I should have known then. And I knew prior to that, but I let it go. And then he contacted me 2 years later, and then he says, oh, that was 2 years ago. Like, that's not me anymore. So once you realize if you realize this is happening to you, run for the hills. You may be trauma bonded with this person, because that's their goal, is to like give you good, but mix in a little bit of like control, manipulation, gaslighting. That never happened. That didn't happen. I never said that. You said that. You said you would pay me the money. You offered the money. I didn't tell you to pay me. And like I literally was like, I felt like I abandoned him. He's like, we're family. We're family. And I'm like, no, we're not family. I've never met your family. There's no ring on my finger. You didn't bother we could have shared a place and gone half and half on a place. You never offered that way prior to quarantine. You could have offered that. Like, you never, it's just delusional. It's gotten to the point where it's like psychopathic. Like, it's like, I literally feel like I'm in a Lifetime movie. And like I said, he's probably going to watch this video and write some crazy crap in the comment section to smear campaign me, I'm sure. I'm sure he won't, or he's going to come at me like, oh, I can't believe you told that story. Well, it's my truth. I didn't say your name, but I'm trying to make this video for anyone else out there to give another example of how it may happen. And once you realize this is going on, block, go no contact, do not wrestle the pig, because if you get into a verbal like confrontation with this person, or you try to explain your side of this person, they will always, you're just feeding them the information that they want, and they're usually going to use all of it against you. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I guess I did abandon them. I abandoned them. Look, if somebody is like gaslighting you, like telling you not to bend over at the park to stretch, and like saying everyone was laughing because of your butt, you were bent over and your butt was, I had jeans on. Like, come on. There was nothing, like, he made me feel like I was, I should have listened to my gut way earlier. And so this is just another lesson for me. So I am just sharing with you my lesson, another lesson. Yeah. So don't wrestle the pig. Don't wrestle the pig. They like to wrestle. You may want to get in there and go at it, but they will keep going. And they will change their story. Once they see something's not working, they'll change it to something else. Once they see that's not working, they'll change it to something else. Then if they get you back, they hoover you back in, just imagine how it's just going to escalate. Like people always try to say women love bad guys or mean guys. No, they weren't mean to begin with. They didn't just throw the fishing hook out without the worm. There was a worm on the hook. And then that's how they caught you. And it doesn't start usually at the very beginning, the abuse, the gaslighting. It usually, well, sometimes with an overt, it may, I mean, usually not. Usually, like, it takes a while. And then you're like, who is this person? And I did not want to make this video. I didn't, because I knew he's like stalking me pretty much. And, well, yeah. Like, I'm this close to calling the cops. Like, I'm this, like, it's just like by the grace that I have in my heart that I'm not getting a restraining order yet. And I haven't called the police. Like, how many times does somebody have to say no? Please leave me alone. Please go away. But they just want to keep hoovering. So anyways, I really hope, like I said, this video is about not wrestling the pig and listening to your gut instincts. Not ignoring the red flags. Yellow flags and orange flags should be looked at. And if you can communicate with somebody, sometimes it was a mistake. Sometimes it's just like one or two things. It was a mistake. They didn't know that was like a trigger for you. But once you start to see this pattern, don't ignore the red flags. Like, seriously. So anyways, I really hope this helped. If nobody has told you, I always want to say this at the end of my videos, because I know how alone I have felt, and how it can feel when you're literally trying to break away from somebody who is telling you these things about yourself, that you're the one who's a narcissist, that you're the one who's this, and that, and you're delusional, and you're like, it's your mental illness, you're mentally ill, you're spiraling, they'll throw everything at you sometimes, and you're like, maybe it is me. And I did that with him. I did that. And I would try to escape, and then I would apologize to him. So, don't wrestle the pig. Listen to your gut. Keep your eyes open for the yellow, orange, and red flags. Give them a chance, and if you see, this is not stopping. And this is like this is one area after another. Listen to your gut instinct and run for the hills. Block them, go no contact. All right. I hope this really helped you. I know that if you are going through this, it's scary, but I'm telling you, you can escape. You are worthy. If they told you you're mentally ill, if they told you you're the narcissist, don't listen to them. That is the classic thing a narcissist will do, is call you the narcissist. Turn everything around on you. And then you won't know who they are. If their masks start slipping, pay attention to that. If you feel like, ugh, inside, and I'm not just saying like 1 or 2 times, or every now and then you have a disagreement, but you can work it out, and they listen, and they respect you, and I'm not just saying like they listen for a couple days and then go back. You know, you have to take care of your inner child. Imagine your inner child is there, and you have to protect them. Instead of like feeling so bad for this person who is doing this to you. You have to protect your inner child and yourself first. Because if you don't, it's like they say on airplanes, put your mask on before you do put anyone else's mask on. Because if you don't, you're going to destroy yourself so that you don't hurt their feelings. And then what? So, I'm going to end it here. If nobody told you, you're amazing, you're awesome, you freaking, God created you, you're filled with gifts and talents, you can break away from this person, you can survive, there is life after this person. There are good guys, good women out there that will love you, that will respect you. There are good friends out there that will love and respect you. So when somebody is not loving and respecting, pay attention. To trust your feelings. Your feelings are valid. Your feelings are valid. Okay. I love you if nobody told you, all right? Take care. Mwah.